It's a bit of a hard thing, like I don't really know where to start, but basically I have been trying over the last few months to kind of think about a way I could help people who are survivors of sexual abuse and assault. I was going to do the women's mini marathon anyway, and I just knew that I was going to do it for the Dublin Rape Crisis Centre. Yeah, no, I was over in London. I did my nursing training in London. I was working in A&E then, so I was over for nearly 4 years it was. So I was friends with the person that did it to me as well. I was just manipulated over the space of a year. And when it happened, like in my own house and in my own bed, it just, trying to work a 13-hour day and then come home and just not sleep, not eat, just sit there crying, and then go in again at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was exhausting. I got about 2 weeks through before my friend noticed that like I was just shaking uncontrollably and trying to give out medicines to people or injections or sticking tubes in places. It's very hard, like, and I was just, everybody knew that I was out of sorts, and so my friend over there kind of knew what was going on and went to the higher people of my hospital to say, like, Claire's not well, you need to really just tell her that she can't be here. I was struggling really on my own because I didn't tell my boyfriend for, I think it was nearly 3 months afterwards. Because a lot of people would be like, oh, do you know, if you tell him, like, you haven't been together that long, he won't trust you, do you know. It's very hard to deal with those sorts of feelings. There's a lot of blame and guilt, and you kind of feel like it's your fault if I've done something wrong. Is there anything that I could have done to stop this? What if I'm left on my own now completely? And it was more just, I didn't feel hurt for myself, I felt more hurt for him. And that was kind of what was stopping me from telling him for so long, do you know? And I promised myself in my head, I was like, everything's going to be fine, you know, I'm going to go home, I'm going to have my family, I'm going to have my friends, I'll have my boyfriend, like all those sorts of things. I'll get back into work, I'm studying. And it was just like, none of that, I didn't feel like any of that really happened. I felt like I'd promised myself in my head that everything was going to be fine, and it still wasn't. Like, it really just fell kind of even further apart. When I went into hospital, one of the doctors, after sitting there and opening up about everything that's been happening, that I've done different types of therapies throughout my life, I've been on different types of tablets my whole life, and he literally said, like, oh, you're damaged goods. Like, I just was pushed straight over the edge. I wasn't thinking right. I was in a complete manic state. I tried to hang myself off my stairs, and as soon as I did it, it was like I threw myself off the banisters. And I was like, I'm actually dying. And it was so intense. I was like, oh my God, like, I don't want this. I was sitting there and I was like, this is it. Like, I'm not letting one person ruin the rest of my life. Why should I have to be the one to kill myself? Why should I have to be the one who suffers? I've hit that place where I'm not a victim, I am a survivor. I'm not going to let this stop the rest of my life. I'm the only person who can take back my life. I think that this is my own version of recovering and just being open about it. But I think that what will help other people is me telling them that there is life after this. There is a world after this. This isn't the end of the world. And it's like, if you're having those feelings, they're such horrible, dark, black feelings that seep inside of you. And when you feel like that, how are you meant to live a normal life? Like, it's like your feelings are strangling you, they're on your face. And the only thing that I've learned through all of this is those feelings are always going to be there. They're never not going to be there. The more you drink, the more you take drugs, the more you try and block everything out, the worse it all gets. The way I think about it is, those feelings, if they're there, you choose where you wear them. Like, you either wear them as a mask completely all the time, you're blinded by it, you're deaf by it, you can't understand your own thoughts. Whereas if you sit down with your feelings in a room, shake their hand and go, I know you're here for life, not just for Christmas, but I'm not going to let you smother me. I'm going to put you in my handbag on my back, like. And accepting that you can't change what's happened in the past. The past controls how you feel in the present, and every moment of the present is the future. I'm not going to let these feelings paralyze me, brutalize my entire life, ruin my relationships, ruin my career. You know, I'm not going to let that happen anymore. I nearly lost everything in 5 minutes. I nearly lost everything. So I've gone from the banisters to here, so if I can do it, everybody else can too.